Gearing up for TIA 2013, we have the time and pleasure of speaking with Cheryl Blum, Vice President of Standards and Technology for TIA, to give us the latest on global standards. And Cheryl, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Abe. Thank you.
Thank you. We're taking care of business in the last 6 months or so, gearing up for TIA 2012, and now that's slightly behind us in our rearview mirror, as I mentioned. But now we have some time to talk about standards and what you're working on throughout the rest of the year in 2012.
Exactly, and so much has been going on in the whole standards area. Don't know if you want to focus on a particular group or activity, but I have to say I just recently returned from China. I was at a meeting in Guangzhou, China for what we call the Third Generation Partnership 2, and it has a relationship with TIA. TIA, along with 4 other leading ICT standards organizations from Korea, China, and Japan, are in what we call 3GPP2. They just held a recent meeting in Guangzhou, China, to talk about and continue their work on the CDMA 2000 technology and the family of standards. But what was really exciting, in conjunction with that meeting in Guangzhou, we held a meeting of a CDMA 2000 technology workshop, and certainly invited operators and vendors from the whole Southeast Asia area. Fortunate enough to have so many join us from Indonesia, from China, from that whole region. And it was exciting to hear about the things they are interested in, very much in M2M, very much in femto, small cells, of course the whole world with greening and energy efficiency. And I was so happy and pleased that how much work is going on in 3GPP2 in that area. A lot of enhancements to this, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but some enhancements to the CDMA 2000 technology to make it even more suitable. It certainly is quite good right now to service M2M, but even to make it better and enhance it, some not too significant, but some minor changes that are occurring to increase the capacity, to allow for infrequent transmission of data, and to make it suitable for all different types of M2M devices and the variation in the type of information that can be transmitted. What's really exciting is that PP2 as well is very closely aligned with our wireless committee, TR45 as we call it. So much of the work going on in 3GPP2 is done in conjunction, certainly with TR45, its members, who are also members, of course, of 3GPP2. And that work will become standards in TIA through that particular committee. As I mentioned, also greening and energy efficiency, again, as we all know, throughout the world, and particularly in the Southeast Asia, how important power is, how important it is to conserve power consumption, battery life, and a lot of work going on in that area as well in 3GPP2. Also a lot of work going on for network management. So the idea is, how do we allow networks based on peak or very low traffic, and in very low traffic to reduce their power consumption and to, in a sense, organize themselves to handle the different traffic, and again, provide energy efficiency and conservation for power. So many interesting things. Also a tremendous amount of work going on interworking of technologies. CDMA with various technologies, certainly like LTE, to allow a migration path for many of our vendors and our service providers. What we're also doing with that migration to LTE is also looking how we can increase capacity. We all know that spectrum is quite an issue, and it's an issue all over the world. And in fact, China Telecom had given an excellent presentation at this workshop. I was fortunate to be the moderator on this user panel, China Telecom and Smart Friends from Indonesia, and what are they seeing in terms of their needs. China Telecom anticipates, and we all know the growth going on in China, they anticipate that over the next 3 years they will double their users. And so their issue is capacity, their bottleneck spectrum. And again, the work going on in 3GPP2 for CDMA 2000, what we call 1X, to increase capacity, again, with some enhancements to 1X, which is used for the voice component, to increase the capacity while also using more efficiently the spectrum and allowing spectrum to free up that can then be used for data and even migration to LTE data. So a lot of great work going on in that area, and in conjunction with our TIA TR45 Wireless Committee.